Hey everyone, I'm Tassinix, and welcome to Plotting and Scheming. We're covering, what is it now? Jesus, is it season 40 what? I actually have to
We're,
check.
we're doing a
40,
GAC of stuff.
46? Is that right? Season 46, 3 versus 3 Grand Arena Championship for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Week 1 GAC. So, I'm here, of course, with my regular co-host Dagger and TJ. Sasha Isha, who is the fourth man of our little band, is only intermittently available. So, we'll pick him up when we can. Hopefully for that that in-between week when it's the off week there, and we can have that longer video talking about the season to come. But, we'll just have to make do with the three of us in the interim. Guys, good evening to you. Thanks for being here. How y'all doing?
Guess we're gonna do Beauty Before Age. That's fine.
Jesus.
Doing good, man. Tired.
Right.
Tired. It's been a long week. Lots to learn and ass whoopings to take.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely took my lumps this week. How about you, Dagger? How you doing? Mike muted. Good stuff.
Good start.
Yep.
That's about like the week went.
Well, and I appreciate your perspective there, Dagger. I think that's something that we can all grow from. So thank you for that. We'll move on into the first segment here.
Hey, now I didn't pick the time that we recorded this. I'm just here because you guys are available.
You didn't pick
right.
the time, and I didn't pick the time, but we both agreed to the time.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, but there are 3.5 to 4 foot tall beings in this house that disagree with my availability during this time.
You're not on
No.
camera. As long as you've got enough stuff on the walls to absorb the sound, who's to say that you could just have this whole recording go down while you're in the cam with the door locked? Who's really going to bother you?
Then I would have a 5'1" person bothering me.
No, I said the door lock.
I will say, as long as she's not putting her fingers under the door, I think we're fine.
I think that level of need would necessitate a variety of other conversation. Yes.
As long as you're not doing the little wiggling of the fingers under. Are you in there? Are you busy? You're fine.
Life was great. Life was great. I was out of town this weekend, so I ended up not playing my final round as I was, out doing other stuff.
All right.
But other than that, yeah, the week went 2-1 in the top 30-ish, so I'm still top 30-ish, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah, I just signed up here a little while ago. I haven't checked again because I'm sure it'll change here a bunch before the actual lock-in tomorrow. But I was like dead nuts on 30 when I clicked. So,
Nice.
But yeah, I myself went 2-1. And TJ, you?
Oh, it's the same, man.
So we all went 2-1. Good week for all of us. Good week.
Peepo'd me.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I had Sasha Isha for the last round, man, and our man is robust here in the new set. You know what it is. He loves...
Oh, yeah.
He goes hard for those good stats right up front.
He loves data cross, man, and that is very fearful.
Dude, it was incredible. It was incredible stuff. Here, let me make sure I've got this streaming in Discord if you guys want to see as we're going. All right. Anyway, let's move into segment 1 here. So what worked here in week 1? Let me kick off here. Maybe you guys will have something to expand on from there. I fought a JKC, GK, and Zaris team. Veer's Dark Piet was the recipe for that for 53. Shock Echo Tech, that was just Iden now. That wasn't anything special. What was interesting? Oh, Fives Krex Arc, that was just Gidme. Actually, it was Padme Grandmaster and Ahsoka. I didn't even use Gideon there, so that was an interesting one. I've had JML work on and off for me, so there was a couple times where it worked, and I will acknowledge that. It worked 2 out of 3 rounds, so not bad. What else was there that was really nice? There was a couple real upset ones that I liked. Let me see here. Dashon Chewie worked for Finn Resistance Hero Finn Zori. I've used that against a variety of teams. I don't know that I've used it against Finn before. I'm not saying I'm surprised it worked. I'm just pleased that it did, because I don't think I do that often. People set Trey against me. I was able to get me that. I have to remember when I'm doing it. You kill the Savage, of course, because you'd otherwise you have no choice. And then if it's between Treya and Nihilus, you want to go after Treya first, right? Because if you go after Nihilus and if for any reason you don't one-shot him, then he just gets to delete somebody, right? So you want to go after Treya next. And I just have to keep that in mind because I dodoed myself once this week with that. But it was still pretty good otherwise. What else was there? Tarful Chewy Zalbar. Must not forget, JKL Hoda GK did it for me, guys. I was really pleased with that one. That was 57, boys. And that was with a shit cron. It had the speed up level 3, but only like minuscule amounts of armor pen. It wasn't even a Jedi 6. And it still was a 57. So can't speak highly enough about that. Let's see. What else? Yeah, that's about it. Everything else is pretty good. Oh, against an Afra BT1 Hondo, Dash Hanjui once again did good work for me there for 54. Oh, Treya Nihilus Savage. If you do fail on that, but you did kill Savage, so now you've got Treya Nihilus standing. Shock, Arc, and Echo, if you have not otherwise employed them, was very smooth. I liked it a lot. So I know that you're calling some assists. It will be imperfect banners, but it is very resource efficient for dealing with still, Treya and Nihilus with an Omicron involved. So that's it for me. Let's go to TJ. What worked for you this week, man? What bailed you out?
This was a big test week, but I'm going to stick it to the one thing, and I'll appreciate the boy Dagger for calling out something that I'm going to play with a little more. Obviously, we were very thin, right? This week, with strategy was, man,
most
you
of
just
us
got
were.
no crons, got no crons in weight and or your resources there. But just there's no resources, man. So what you had to have work, you had to stretch it correctly. And the things that were working and doing it, all your oofus with these crons are just gods right now.
Yes.
The punch up is so stupid. So what I was able to punch up to, Riva, getting me out of so many bad scenarios. I didn't have enough, so I couldn't clear the Leia like I wanted. We'll go back to that, but the big one for me is Malgus. Just stomping the safeties out of the Malicoses that I'm finding.
Really, Malicos has been your go-to for
Malgus. Malgus for the Malicos has been a safety net, because what I found is that Gidme is imperfect, and if it's imperfect or something happens, or like Pimpo, Mr. Smarty Pants, with I'm gonna have more protection than health on all my characters, so I wasn't gonna risk it. Malgus saves your bacon, and you don't have to take an expensive Malgus team, which means now you can save like your Darth Revan, so full Monty Darth Revan for another safety net kill. And that's my big one.
So what's the floor for using this Malgus against Seer? And what are the limitations? Can it do any comp of Seer? Is there something that impedes us? What if Crew's in the mix, Like, what's going on?
I fought it with Crew. Specifically with Crew in the team. Okay. It was Malicos and Crew in there, and it doesn't matter. You're biding your time. You're removing the buffs to be able to get to the team, but doesn't die. Now... Yeah. Are you coming out with a 57? Probably not. You might lose somebody, but Malgus will finish the team off and you'll get a win. I don't know where the ceiling's at, and I don't know where the floor is at yet. But every time I've used it, it's worked. So how hefty the team's going to be, I think we'll figure it out. And obviously by next week, we'll have more information, but it feels very good.
Yep. Dagger, how about you? What worked well for you this week? We're all in the test mix. Moan now, don't be shy.
He might be dealing with fingers under the
I'm telling you, man.
I was lending my voice to Roald Dahl.
Oh, I see.
But most things worked. Again, we talked about it last week. I save a lot week one. So we basically overkilled everything. Star Killer still absolutely curb stomps Ray. SOKR still curb stomps Lord Vader. JMK still curb stomps Jabba. I'm trying to think. Well, let me check my history because I didn't really get to prepare much for this. No, I won't apologize. Um,
You bum.
gee, yeah, I didn't pick the time. I just showed up because you two were available.
Again, you didn't pick the time. You just merely agreed to it. You keep saying that like it's a defense.
You have none, sir.
Look, I've been on record many times saying that I prefer much earlier on Mondays, and I can
Me
do later
too.
on Tuesdays. So
Well,
when you
me
guys pick
too.
Monday, anyways, that's neither here nor there. All right, so history isn't up, so fuck me. Trying to think. I used Padme effectively, as you said, to beat a couple of different teams. Um, trying to think. What are they? Oh, I tried Afra versus Jabba, and that was just an app. Oh no, that's for the next segment. Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
that's a long segment. You'll be
I
fine.
bet.
Don't worry. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
long segment.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the TLDR is at least week. I very rarely have a ton that goes wrong for me, mostly because I decide to overkill or use like 95% plus counters
Mm-hmm.
against stuff. So if I had prepared, anyways, I won't go down there. Yeah, I am not prepared enough to answer that question outside of saying pretty much everything I had lined up worked because, yeah, I didn't face a lay on defense
Mm-hmm. All right.
last week.
Okay.
So I didn't have to deviate my strategy.
Well, then, why don't we just springboard right off that back to you? What didn't work for you this week?
Afra versus Jabba is still awful.
Yeah. All right. I believe that.
Yeah, yeah. Boosh like took a couple of turns and then threw her AOE and killed all three droids. Afra was in the yellow.
Talk to me
Fun
about the Kron situation for this, because I see a variety of Krons getting used this week, and there are a couple that are very dangerous.
Protection, just straight up protection, defense, and a little bit of crit damage.
Okay.
I consistently just get my whole team exploded. I'm glad you can get it to work, I guess.
No. I did not use that. I did not attempt that at all this week. So
Okay.
please
Well,
don't.
I'm just saying. Last 3v3, you got it to work, and I'm just saying, like, I got absolute.
Yeah.
I tried it once, and I got absolutely exploded.
Yeah, I did not.
And it was an R8 boost too. So
yeah. No, I hear you. That's unfortunate. But I respect the position. I mean, that's why it makes sense, because I definitely had a couple a struggle or two with the Java, and invariably it amounted to high offense. It was either a set 10 with with very, very high offense on it, or it was a set 11 with high defense, but the buffs level 3 for light side, so that she would have it. And sometimes even an offensive modding. But yeah, when she does that first time she uses special, that can be lights out right there. So I believe you. What else?
yeah,
What else?
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Outside of that one fight, I didn't have a whole lot go wrong for me. Outside of I had some fleet RNG and had to clean up a. Sometimes they stun your eye and then just got to clean it up.
Yes.
So I had to clean up like a Nego versus triple attacker, and then I had to clean up a Leviathan. But again, neither one of those was like that difficult.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like I can't think of anything that like really tripped me up. That like my
Yeah, because you
second
said
round,
you
my
already saved
opponent,
a lot. Yeah.
yeah, my second round, my opponent absolutely impaled himself on my front wall. He did end up full clearing, but he scored like a 1960 something, so I had a lot of leeway.
Yeah. Wow.
So I ended up two-shotting a couple of things voluntarily. I don't remember what those were now, but I
it made it
remember
buttery
I was
smooth
like,
for
man,
the rest of it. Yeah.
yeah, because I still ended up winning by almost 100 banners, and because I just had the ability to just I feel you set the Treya Savage thing, and like you said, I just like killed Savage and then went in and killed Treya and Talon with the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, having not done enough homework on this, I didn't fail on a ton of stuff that I wasn't planning to two shot.
All right.
So I'm really usually pretty bad in both of these segments specifically because of how I play CAC. But TJ generally has a lot to say during this one, so I'll let him go.
All right, TJ, what bombed out for you this week?
Oh,
Open up.
man.
Speak on it.
Such
Speak,
a
brother.
great week for me. So I had to try it out and just to see where it was at because of, you see it, people doing it and stuff like that. So Night Sisters on Java. Tried it 2 out of 3 times, and both damn times, if they didn't go right after Marin. And 30 seconds in, Marin was gone.
I had that.
So.
I'm 1-1 with that. I know I told you I had one success using Night Sisters versus Java this week, and
as they would say in American Idol, hard pass, dog, hard pass.
Yeah, it worked
Both
once
times,
for me for great banners, and then the other time it just got completely blown out. So I believe.
I mean, just badly. The other things that didn't work, so many things. Fighting people, so many things didn't work. I tried Treya on Malikos to see where it was going to be at because of the way the board was set up. And I was already starting to go down fast, just burning.
Now, you said Treya versus Malikos. Now, you went in full bird with Nihilus Savage.
Yep.
All
and,
right.
man, you are that just... I guess where we're fighting at, right? If you're fighting a proper, just don't even do it. Don't waste your team. They seriously just pummeled me out of existence. Like, just people just dying left and right. It was a massacre.
My suspicion is that if you had, high protection and or health with high defense to mitigate basically everything that wasn't Malikos' true damage thing.
I do not see that being the case. That wasn't just Malikos beating me up.
Yeah.
It was the team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Defense would mitigate a lot of what's going on there.
I do not believe that is the case. And I believe as you're trying to ramp, you will die. Because they just go. And especially with the bonus turn coming from Malikos, I won't risk that again. That felt so bad and so, just watching your team just fade away. And I'm telling you, that's what they did. Treya was gone. Redown, then Savage was gone, and then Nihilus was stunned, gone. It's just they go away. ATF.
Yeah, I
don't do it.
Fight either.
Don't do it. I'm trying to help you. That you can put it to much better. Yeah, it's just I took, like I said, all of them deleted, just gone. So
which reminded me really quick. I had Treya Savage lose versus Riva.
Me too, but I was about to go on about that myself when we got to me.
Yeah, because
the
Ufukron with the buffs on basic, and
I believe it.
I don't remember which level.
It doesn't matter which one it is. It's the one where they can all be stacking the stats, or they can be stacking the defense. None of them are great to fight.
But anyways, sorry, I just remembered that one. But
no, it's a good call. I didn't have to fight it, but I think it's for good cause of where we'll go, I think, with the next segment. But other things that didn't work, Leia is such a puzzle box right now for everybody. I don't think anybody's coming away unscathed. If you're not doing mirrors, which Dagger will call out, you're just hard-pressed to, let's try to pull the cooldown, be it like we're going to kill somebody or do whatever. And I've just watched fail after fail. I think I've got some of the kinks worked out, and I'm seeing some things from some friends and friends of friends, and then watching all the streamers do their stuff like that. I've got ideas, but as I'm getting ideas, I know others are refining their datacrons and other things, and Leia is just a monster. She's horrible on defense, obviously. Clearly horrible.
Yes.
Clearly the worst person on defense. Seriously, stop my whole GAC.
As stated, I expect her to be closer to C once her datacron rotates, but man, this Drogon datacron is so strong.
Yeah, man, he is something unto himself. He is like I had to clean up alone Drogon, and let me tell you, the boy is not a game just himself.
But this is what I'm saying, right? You don't walk away.
I have watched people with Cal be in the offense down mode,
Yeah.
and then just have him bonk off one of the sides. 60% offense down, still bonk somebody else from 100 to 0.
It's
JML's
just
doesn't even trigger. They're just
single
gone.
shotting SLKs. There, nobody's unscathed. And so, like I said, as Dagger will put it, if you're not doing a mirror, you're cleaning it up. And I think we'll
I
be
think it's
better off.
Ray. I think Ray can do it.
Right,
But yeah,
right. No, I
yeah.
think you're right too. But I also know that my Ray failed. Watched
Well,
and proved.
stop
And
sucking.
but yeah, of course it's that I suck and fuck yourself. There's my F bomb. But no, but it's also the cron being limited, right? We all have to account for what we have, right? So the resources, I think it's definitely there, and I think I'll be better prepared this week. But yeah, that just hurt my feelings, man. Other things that didn't work. I honestly I didn't even push on Pimpo. He two shot my whole front wall, so the things that I needed to do worked. But I didn't even play with it. And then my third guy took 2 attacks and I demoralized him. So,
Got you. All right. Well, for my part, I mean, my first couple rounds were pretty all right. I will say I tried Mother Talzin Marin Zombie against a Finn Zori Rose, and I remember it being pretty rough. Like, we got to the point where Finn eventually keeled over with Plague, but Zori and Rose stabilized, so it was pretty bad. Round 2, Bosk failed me against the Tuscans, but again, that's because I was pressed on Krons. I really didn't have any strong defense to offer them. Ideally, I'd be giving them, a set 11 that has strong defense and perhaps, buffs on 3 isn't bad, but prod up wouldn't be terrible either. And then I had to go after that with Afra, and then Afra failed on Tuskens. I did manage to kill the Tusken Raider with the Summon Droid's third, so that's a perma kill, and so it was just Chieftain and Warrior remaining, and Shock Arc Echo took care of that. So that's twice this week I had a good cleanup using Shock Arc Echo. Leia R2 Drogon was the gold standard everybody was setting. I have used JML to success twice, and then it has failed me. I've had Slacker fail me. I do want to say, I don't know how reproducible it is, but I did have one win with JMK. And it was JMK Cap Mace, and I think I already told you guys, I thought about having Mace just to be able to hopefully have Drogon pulled out of stealth when the appointed hour comes and we can finally execute somebody. And it didn't work out that way. We ended up pulling out R2, but then I executed R2 and managed to move, expeditiously through the fight after I killed Leia, then I killed Drogon. So it wasn't so bad for that. But round 3 versus Sasha, again, I was heavily outmatched for Datacrons, and usually once I've had a couple weeks or a couple, like at least 2 conquests in on a set, I've developed enough that I can compete. But man, no. I went my regular way that I go, and Sasha went hard. Had optimized all level 9 Datacrons on everything. Huge defense, so I had a variety of counters that have worked for me. Didn't work here. So JML failed on this one. What did I end up using to get past that? Well, I killed everybody but Drogon, and then I used, I want to say I used a sortie team, thinking that, sortie and a couple decent droids was going to take out that Drogon. It did not take out that Drogon. I wanted to use Trench there to clean it up, but I didn't want to use Newt Jango B1 in case I wanted to retain that for another option. So I used Trench, Dooku, and Droidica, and that finished him off. That was one of the messes. Gas Rex 5s, for the very first time, Inquisitors failed me. I used it the exact same way in round 1 as I did here in round 3, and I got like a 56 in round 1, and I got my ass utterly handed to me in round 3. Same setup that you're accustomed to here. It was the set 10 with the speed up on basic level 3, the damage reduction for Jedi level 6, extraordinary armor penetration, and crit damage. So that's really what it was. We were just under threat early on, and it was a dangerous time to be alive. We use C and set to clean up gas, right? So it's like, oh, that's okay. We'll just use C and set. But again, I'm pressed this week for Datacron, so I really had nothing in the way of defense to offer. And I didn't know if I would need Watt for any other purpose, so I said, C set's enough. It was not enough. So C set failed against gas, I shit you not. Just too much damage. It was just too much damage. We got it down to just the man himself. Used Geos to clean that up. What an awful mess. Treya, Nihilus, Savage. Yeah, so that was where I think I dodoed myself and went after Nihilus after killing Savage instead of Treya. Because correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it's her unique that allows Nihilus to have his cooldowns reset if he goes under 100% health. So if you kill her first, that's shut off and you're safe to pursue him. It's just about getting her down quickly enough to actually not have him get around to that execute organically. So, okay. Let's see. We had a variety of things drop here, so it ended up turning into a shit show. But as far as other things that I expected to work and not work, like Dagger, Treya, Nihilus, Savage versus Riva. Man, just we need the defense. We need the defense, and we need perhaps some more protection from the Kron, I think. And maybe that would help more. But we lose Treya maybe after about 2 minutes of the fight. She takes a decent amount of damage. She stabilizes a little bit, but in the end, she just ends up getting blown out. And you're able to generally still kill Riva. But it's a cleanup because, GI and Seven Sisters enough to certainly finish the other two Yahoos. RJT, Resistance Hero Finn, and Resistance Hero Poe cleaned those two Yahoos up. That was the recipe. So that's it. That's the terrible awful. Speaking on my round 3. So we can turn now to, my favorite segment here. Standout defenses. What overperformed for you guys this week? Let me just piggyback off myself here real quick. I didn't have a whole lot of huge defenses, but Leia, of course, was, I'm sure we'll all end up saying Leia did good for us in some amount. But Tarful, it doesn't matter, man. You just can't lose with Tarful. You can do it with Clone Wars Chewbacca and Zalbar, like Dagger recommended for me here in round 1, because I was stressed about how I wanted to use Vandor. And he said, this will probably still be okay. I'm like, yeah. And if he high banners it, or if he gets it with Seer, I guess I can live with that. That's fine. Nah, bro, that still held. That held twice, and then he got a 25 to finish it off, right? So lost 2 banners on the 3rd attempt. So that was hot. Had Tarful with Vandor later in the week, also hold for me. So that was dope. Had the odd Qui-Gon Jinn hold. He is good on offense as a cudgel for sure, and he remains that. But, with those Jedi Crons, it's not an unworthy defense. Saw, Krex, and Baze. If you have the Saw Omicron, Saw Krex is nasty. With Kara, it's just fine. If you're not sweating about not having Baze adds, a layer of complication. So that was a good one. CLS Chupio C3PO. I held that for offense a lot last season. But I got a couple holds here this week. So that was with a Wookiee crown, by the way. I want to say decent armor penetration and crit damage and stacking defense on level 6. Because I wanted to save the Wookiee stun cron I have. I only have one of that. I wanted to save that for wherever I use Han Chewie. Like Wedge Han Chewie, Dash Han Chewie, Bam Han Chewie. So something of that kind. Rey got the odd hold. Rey, Swolo, and Cal, because I ran that round. I ran Seer, Cal, and Fulcrum. So as another team. So Cal was available to go with Rey. And then who else held? No, those are pretty much the suspects for this week. Oh, Gas got one odd hold, so bless him. But that was unexpected. A real blessing, though. All right, Dagger, sound off. Any real strong defenses for you this week? Anything that stands out to mind? All right, TJ. Standout defenses for you this week. We'll circle back to Dagger.
Yep. Easy enough for me. Stand out. Tuscans literally won my round one. Without Tuscans, I would not have won.
Very nice. Very nice.
Dash on Chewy, 6 holds. But this is now I've setting the board up correctly, as we've talked about before. Yeah. Literally caused all of this. So it was dropped all over the place. Gas got a hold. Just left and right. My Leia got one shot, but that's because my opponent didn't set Leia. So with that, but yeah, Tuscans couldn't kill it. That cleaned it up. Go to round 2. Everything that you would think would work did work. So it was fine. Because I had to go Laderos Pimpo. There's just nothing I could do with that. So
you didn't really have any standout defenses that round.
Not for that one, but round 3, my guy attacked twice. He attacked Leia, killed Drogon, never won again. He went against my Malicos team, killed nobody, stopped the fight.
Yep, definitely strong teams.
It's just what you would expect it to do, and it's just there's no answer.
All right. Well, Dagger, you available? You around? Any overperforming defenses for you?
Yeah. Hold on, I need to. No. Yeah, Dash Vandor L3 held it every round.
Hey, my man.
And as TJ said, had I think at least one person hold Leia. So, yeah, Leia didn't actually do a Leia like absolutely like held. I think it took my second round opponent 3 tries kill it.
Yes,
but yeah, the other 2 times it was just one shot.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lord, not Lord, the Ray thing seems pretty solid. And SOK Watt crew seems pretty solid. JML has that pesky failed point where one of the sides can just get bonked off. I think it's less likely against SOK and Ray. But anyway, we can talk about that at a different point, I guess. Because we're
talking about what your standout defenses are.
Yeah, we're also in the infancy of like this season when it comes to like how do you counter Leia in 3s since this is her first 3s, et cetera, et cetera.
For sure.
Another one that I don't. It's never surprising when Gas gets a hole, but it's always just one of those things where you smirk.
No, it is nice, and we've been used to it not holding. So being able to get the odd hold with Gas again, that's why I mentioned it too. It did stand out. Yeah.
And Malgus. Yeah, both Gas and Malgus both got holds for me this week, and it's that little smirk of, so you didn't come correct, did you, asshole?
Nice. I've had everybody show great respect to it. So I expect that. I expect that people were doing C on that because I think at least a couple of my opponents did the JML versus Leia thing. So I don't think their Jedi Cal was involved in the killing of my Malgus. But regardless, Malgus didn't get anything for me this week. No holds.
I don't know if this qualifies, but one of the things that surprised me that one of my opponents set, and I still beat it relatively easily, but it caught me off guard a little bit, is it's just some like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like that casual, like what I suggested to you, right? It was just Tarful, Zalbar, Vandor.
Mm-hmm.
That team was just so annoying to kill. Like
Yeah.
I never felt like I was too much in threat to lose,
Mhm.
right? But it was a headache. And I feel like if
Mhm.
I didn't, I think I took like you said, JKL plus Mace and a Hoda. So like it was inevitable that I was going to win in that sense.
Mhm.
And then another time I pad made it because they didn't have grit. But I faced that team twice, and both times, and it wasn't even like R9 versions of those characters either, right? It was like one was R7, R8,
Mhm.
one was
Mhm.
R5, R7, R7. Like just the obnoxiousness of Tarful just not being able to kill them
Mhm.
like efficiently.
Mhm.
Just very, very annoying. But I don't know if that one counts because I fought against it. But
Mhm.
yes, very obnoxious defense. Stand out in the sense that I think it's cheap, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so, anyways,
All right. Fair enough.
that's all I got.
Well, okay, guys, we're already 35 minutes into it, so let's try and be concise here as we move into the last couple points. Next is, of course, what we're taking away for next week. So let me just sound off here briefly. I think that, I ran Java on offense this week, and it was excellent. Excellent. I was able to kill a worthy team every time, but I didn't have myself kind of set up to make use of this Maul thing with Gar and Super Commando. I am setting myself up for that here for week 2. So that implies that I might have more use for Lord Vader on offense, which might imply more Java back on defense. So that's like one of the first things that jumps out to me. I'm going to have to weigh carefully based on what I see on the data for Leia counters about how else I might change my GL makeup. But having like 3 GLs on defense, and perhaps I'm changing which one is which, felt like a reasonable way to go forward. I had everybody, including Sasha, have a couple drops on my defense, even as strapped as I was, with no more than 3 GLs on defense. So I don't think I'm spoiling much for my opponents by saying I'm likely to stick with that. It's a safe shape for me for attack, and it's a challenging shape on defense for any opponent. So that's about it, I'd say, for me. TJ, it's been a while since we heard from you. What are you taking forward here for week 2? Aside from a whole
Uh,
lot of better crons, me too as well.
I mean, that's I think the number one thing. I think you
Yeah,
nailed it. Is refinement.
yeah.
Things are more refined, and I've watched a ton, and I can't. It's one
Not
bad
even
thing about having to do
refinement,
it.
just having shit. Not even
Well,
refined
that's
shit, just having
but no,
shit at
I've
all.
actually refined them too, right? Because
Well,
watching
sure,
all the things,
surely that, but just having anything, for God's
right,
sake.
right, yeah, and I'm walking in on a better status. But what I'm also walking is what it takes so much to do is your homework. And I've watched
Mm-hmm.
so many streams, and that's not just content creators, but that's just in general.
Mm-hmm.
People are sending me fights and showing me details, so it's just been so much learning and trying to take it in because of how everybody's shaping up with their Leias and the Malicoses and things that could potentially counter in it. It's if anybody listened to our big topic thing when we were doing it with Sasha and everything, and it's come to fruition. All the things we said are here, and they are here in force. So you're either going to have a really good time, you're going to have a really fun time, or you're going to have a really bad time. But you're going to have a time regardless. So my takeaway, honestly, is just you guys need to stay fluid. Do your homework, study your opponents, and then if you can, it only takes one really bad fight to just completely just dog walk your opponent to where they have nothing left. All you need is that one.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Dagger, what are you taking forward to week 2?
I mean, you guys both kind of said pretty much all the stuff that I was thinking, but yeah, it's mostly going to be trying to figure out what the most efficient use of your own resources are.
I'm so
So
glad you
obviously,
said that. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, because just one aspect of it, right, is we have an idea of what range of teams our teams beat, but it's trying to figure out where to most effectively and efficiently use those teams to get the best banners you can, because like you said and like we alluded to in the in between is this very much feels like an efficiency meta because everything explodes And if your opponent can one-shot Leia, they win, right? Like if you both one-shot Leia, it comes down to does somebody F up on Fleet? And if
Yeah.
right, if you both that's really what this is boiling down to. Because if you fail on Rey or if you fail on Leia, unless there's a cheap cleanup that we find after week 1 or 2, you're just GLing it again, and that's just such a ridiculously expensive trade because the Drogon Datacron is so.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing we're going to be looking forward to is Raycrons or sorry, Ray versus Leacrons, min-maxing your Leacron to try and shut off these counters that we presume are going to beat them, trying to find a Leia counter, and then trying to set the strongest defense you can to take the most banners you can while still being able to one-shot your opponent's entire board.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough.
And if you wanted to expand on the resources thing, I'd let you only talk about one aspect of it.
No. I mean, I'm just trying to think about, like, something haunts me. Sasha Isha had set, like, a crew Malicos something. Visas team. It was crew Malicos Visas with a Visas Kron. And then he, then had Seer Cal Fulcrum posted elsewhere. And I wonder about that. Because, what do you guys think about that?
Here's my problem with this, and I've watched this in 4 different scenarios of these people who are there. To me, in my opinion, you're outthinking yourself.
I use bounty hunters to kill that Malachite.
That's what I'm saying. My problem with people who are doing this, I saw somebody put, like they did it on Heinze. They put 5th and 9th with Malicos. I don't care that these are unaligned. I don't care.
Yeah.
You are wasting a defensive god or offensive god for this god awful team that we literally. I told him just take some stuff and go kill it, and he got a 55 out of it. That is such a waste and disrespectful to what Malicos can achieve. I saw my opponent did it to me, and I made my own stupid mistake on it. Is he put Malicos with Rey? And Swallow thinking, I'm going to big brain you. I could have easily taken Inquisitors, but because I overthought it, I took JML. Malicos was still dead. You're getting rid of all of the goodness of the team. You don't need a Star Killer. There's no chance to fail. And because I failed, I cleaned it up with Inquisitors, but stop it. Knock it off. Don't do it.
You stop it.
Right. If you want to put it somewhere, and I'm not calling this good, put it with a better team because it will amplify the team. But the holds where it's doing the best are the teams that have the best combos. Seer with Malicos still does great things.
Yeah.
Doing these other things. Stop putting these cheap ass sorry teams together and thinking Malicos was going to hold it down. It doesn't. You will take something cheap, dash on Chewie, some other silly thing, and you're going to kill it. And you just wasted either. Or keep it on offense, but stop doing that dumb shit. It's dumb. Knock it off.
Fair. Very fair.
I don't know. Everything you just said there sounds like something I want to do because you said neither one was 57 banners. Yes, please.
I'm sure it could be 57, but he didn't have to think of it. If I can tell you,
I understand. The point I'm trying to make here is that I don't necessarily have a problem with dividing up Malicos because I can tell you I just GL'd it, and I can tell you from talking to most other people, most other people I talk to, they just GL'd it too. So people are just going to GL it. I feel like at that point it might be worth a split. Just another split I was thinking of off the top of my head was DRBSF Mallet going back on defense because you can use Mouse on offense.
I see the Malicos on offense. I'm okay with, right? Because you can put together
not Malicos, Malgus.
Oh, Malgus is already on offense, but I'm telling you
no. But what I'm saying, But what I'm saying is that allows you to put DRBSF Malik back on defense.
I don't like it on defense. Every time we faced it, we trooper it, and with troopers doesn't even need the new Kron.
Yeah,
trooper can just take armor pen and it just destroys your Malik. I will tell you.
I would have you guys look up the win rate on that, even pre-bolt Kron. I think you guys. I think you guys remember that a little bit differently than like the 63% win rate it was.
No, I just did it 3 for 3.
Whether you do it like again, but do you understand how powerful the troopers are right now with the Datacron, and if they're using it on your DR, they're not using it on something better?
I do agree with you that they are powerful, but I also know that if a DR is on defense, that you can just trooper it and move on with your life. Now, I will tell you where Pimpo caught me slipping because I wasn't ready for it, and he did it the right way. Putting Talon and Savage with DR, pull split. I stopped fighting into the fight, but the idea that he still put it out there, he split his team up, and it was a pretty good setup. And that still afforded him to have Treya and Nahus and Scion. But I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing: we have to be here's the actual problem that we're running into. There isn't anything on defense that holds right now outside of really Leia and maybe a couple other GLs. So if nothing is going to hold, you have to find the ways to strip banners, right? So you can say something's bad all you want, but the moment you say not 57. I'm considering it. You know what I mean?
Like, I think there's room for 57.
You're saying, I don't. It's not. It's usually 56 or 55. But what the point I'm trying to make here is, there are so many teams that you set that are just going to get 57, and people, if they're going to oversave because of Leia or other things, like, I don't know. I feel like you're not necessarily wrong, but you're right more in a meta where people are setting heavier defenses and trying to go lighter on offense.
If you're going to set it, at least set it with a better team. The teams I'm seeing people set with now, the crew idea, I like the crew idea, and I think we talked about it within the inner circle. We talked about it, right?
Yeah.
I think there's merit to try to do something where it's like crew is bulking himself up on this setup, right? So it's still doing things, but it's like, but 5th with 9th?
Sure.
No.
But my point is that we should be looking at maybe trying to split some of these to create decision points for your opponent to try and like either try to underkill or then overkill a weaker team. I'm not trying to up or down, like thumbs up or thumbs down ideas specifically, right? Or tell you what to do. I'm just saying that I think we may be looking at splitting some of our better teams, especially since Malgus is now on offense a little bit more against Seer. Yeah. Like, what do you do with Dion? What do you do with Malin, right? Like, now since Trey isn't beating Riva, what do we do with her? Do we split her up? Do we put Savage there? Do we just let them try to Gidme it up front? Right? Like, I think that there's... Anyways, the point I'm basically trying to make is I think that it's worth looking into some of these splits, because the more we shoot down ideas, the less we explore the possibilities we have.
I will tell you that if you don't put Malicos in the heavier team with Seer or something like that, the lesser counter starts to take over the Seer again, which is fine. It's going to take the stuff that you're going to normally throw at it, but it does bring it back that even with the Datacron, it's still easily manageable, or at least it felt that way to me, and that was with limited resources.
Yeah. But Padme beats Rex 5, so like.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought it up to begin with, because I did boss Grief Mando for 57 against that crew Malicos Thesis.
Makes sense.
And I'm not saying that comp is the right comp.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that knowing that I had Seer. I use Gidme on something else, and then I still had to deal with a Seer Cal Fulcrum up top. So I was like, okay, fine. And Boss Grief Mando is an answer to a good number of teams here on 3s otherwise. So it's not that the stress hurt me there, but I was looking at it like, this could be painful. I'm not sure if that's the right comps, but that split to keep Seer Cal Fulcrum and have Malicos be dangerous elsewhere, I like it. I was thinking also about Lord Vader a little bit with it, because, like people are doing this Maul on offense thing. Lord Vader Malicos.
Every time I've ever seen that, he just sits there.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Lord Vader without Maul is just
right.
Not good.
All right, well, fair. Very fair. Very fair.
He's not going to lie.
You're going to say, like, if you're saving Maul for offense, just save your Lord Vader to solo gas, right? That's your gas solution right there.
Dagger's 110% right. If you're going to do that, don't put it out. It's either Lord Vader and Maul and a variety of other third. But Malikos just sits there on the Lord. It's just not good. It's just not.
So all of this has been like, in terms of where we are in the video, my final thought, because we should wrap up here soon. So I want to give a chance for you guys to get out your final thought to the people.
Oh, no,
but my
we
thing was
did.
about the crew.
This was the
or about the
this was the
series.
conclusion of this was the conclusion of the whole thing, because we had already said our pieces. Then we started talking about resource management.
Oh, well, sure. I don't recall specifically calling out to you guys for final thoughts, but if you feel you've already gotten out what you needed to say, that's fine by me. I just wanted to make sure that, I wanted to get some kind of note there about this division of resources with Malikos, and that really was my parting thing to think about, because that's a big deal here in threes, is maximizing your pull for your counters here and stretching that value. But yeah, nothing from you guys here for final thoughts, or?
I think your hat's stupid.
Yeah, we already did it.
Okay. All right. Dig it.
And that's why your hat's stupid.
Well, yeah, I don't have my hat on tonight, so that ought to show you.
Yeah, I did. That was not a qualified statement. I just think your hat's dumb.
Okay. Well, all right. It's unkind of you. I mean, you know that I know how to say unkind things to you, Dagger, but I'm a bigger man than that, than to do it here, right now.
Your waistline is bigger, yes.
See? Okay. All right. Remember, this video ain't rolling forever, bub. All right, so I just want to give a special thanks here to Dagger and TJ. Thank you guys so much for making time here on a Monday evening, pulling your time away from family. But for all of our patrons here, this video will be up first thing in the morning, and for all of our other followers here on YouTube, this video will be available on Friday. Until next time, it's been real. It's been awesome. It's been real awesome. And hopefully I'll have some time here in week 2 to stream. It's been a pretty chaotic week. A lot of stuff going on work-wise, and, sickness in the family, birthdays, stuff like that. So hopefully time will allow me to be on stream a bit. Until then, hope this, tides you over. All right. Take care, guys. See you next time.